like the likes of 361 WAM or even someone like an Angel One. Amidst all of this, we have Anand Rathi, the first management, joining us to discuss their third quarter numbers, the outlook going forward. Pradeep Gupta, the chairman and managing director of the company, joins us now. Thanks a lot, Pradeep, for joining in. Season's greetings. The slew of festivals across the country over the last two trading sessions. But just on your numbers, I wanted to understand a couple of things. If you could give us a sense on the outlook that you have for the remainder of this year, and more importantly, the start of next year. So FY26 and FY27. If you could give us a sense on the clients that you're willing to add, the number of accounts that you're looking at, and your revenue at large.
Yeah, thank you, Mangalam, and Happy New Year to you and all team of yours and all the viewers over here. To be really frank with you, if you really look at the number of Anand Rathi Stockbroking Limited, for Q3, we have already achieved about 248 crore and with a PAT of about 37 crore. So, I mean, if you really see, this is a growth of about 22% on our top line and about 73% on a PAT. But these are the performances which will keep on, increasing and showing proper growth over a period of time. We believe we are bang on target. Our whole motive is to serve those kind of customers who are looking for investments, and investments if they are looking at how they can invest and broaden base their investment products. So we are looking at equity, in more specifically equity in direct equity, cash market side, and then various other products like mutual fund, PMS, AIF, structured products, bonds, and so on and so forth. So we are trying to give them a holistic solution so that they can have a long-term investable portfolio and they can keep constantly working upon it. And that's what we are trying to do. So our motive is, and also on the top of it, what we are trying to do is trying to give and provide margin trading facility to those customers who want to leverage and try to increase their ROI on the investments. So our margin trading facility is something which we are constantly providing to those kind of a customer. So what we have done is we have kept only two kind of a set guidance for ourselves, that how we can probably constantly increase our non-broking business, which is coming largely from distribution and margin trading facility. In distribution, we have already achieved almost 8,370 crore AUM, which we are aspiring by March 26, somewhere around 9,500 to 10,000 crore. That's our first benchmark which we have set, and we are constantly working towards it. Similarly, if you really look at it, MTF book, we have already achieved about 1,230 crore by way of providing funding to through margin trading facility, and we have set a target that by March we should be able to reach to somewhere around 1,500 crore. And we believe we are bang on target. Our non-broking book is constantly increasing and expanding by 35 to 40%. So far, broking is concerned, what we are trying to do is broking from cash market and broking from non-cash or a derivative market. Correct. There are two buckets, and we are trying to fix this revenue mix over there and trying to see how we are constantly increasing our book. All right. In terms of what you have asked about acquisition side, largely our acquisition is dependent on referrals as well as various different activity which we are placing on the ground through our network. Okay. And we are constantly working towards this and working constantly increasing and expanding our customer base across the country.
All right. Hi, Mr. Gupta. Good morning. Nigel on this side. Congratulations on your results. We look forward to keep in touch as the year progresses. You gave us a few numbers. The MTF book, you see it go to around 1,500 crores. And the AUM that you're talking about moves around 9,500 to 10,000 crores. Got that. Give us a few more details. The active clients, could you tell us where is that number headed, if you have a number in mind? Point number one. Point number two is, across verticals, if you could break it up for us, what is your market share? And where do you target this market share moves to?
So, thank you, Nigel. I think for your question about market share, we are not really literally bothering on the market share. What we are trying to do, how we can, or we keep on expanding our AUM book. And until unless we are not going to increase the AUM book, whether it is coming from existing customer or coming from a new customer, it's not going to help us in any which way. So far, we are focusing on delivery-based business by way of expanding our AUC. And AUC is constantly expanding and increasing, and we believe that is going to increase in forthcoming quarter as well as next year also. Similarly, in terms of AUM, where we are focusing, why we are doing that? Because of a simple reason: we want to create a constant and consistent revenue generation and predictable revenue generation in terms of growth by this company, and we are constantly working towards it. So that's what we are trying to work it out. If you really look at it, our growth is about 21.5% so far has come in terms of AUC book, which we have created so far, and we believe that book is constantly going to grow by 20% year-on-year basis also. That's what we are looking at from an AUC book, which is largely helping us in growing our broking side. And
Right.
I have already spoken to you about AUM side.
So AUC grows about 25 to 30% every year. You know, commodities, that's the talk of the town right now. Gold, silver, all of them are at record highs. People call this year to be the year of aluminum and copper, etc. You have been applying, or registering for a commodities derivative broking license. Has that come about for you? And, on the broking, non-broking business itself, if you could give us a mix, how much do you expect coming in from non-broking going forward?
So as on today, if you really look at it, about 55% and 45% ratio is there in terms of broking and non-broking. We are aspiring to reach to 50% level by March 27 with a decent amount of growth in both the segments. And over a period of time, we will see which is the kind of a percentage which really worthy and looking at the revenue growth and sustainable and predictable revenue growth can be achieved. That's what our aim is, and we are constantly working towards it. In terms of commodity, yes, we already have a commodity licenses, and we are addressing the commodity needs of our customers, which is coming and part of our non-broking F&O businesses side itself. Our revenue mix between broking in cash market side and F&O side is 50-50. Within that 50-50, in pure F&O and commodity, both business are included.
All right, Mr. Gupta, as you said, numbers will keep improving from year on. Your net profit is, I think, ballpark 37 crores. If you have to give us a number out there, going by all the efforts you're putting, what would your net profit number look like? Maybe on a quarterly run rate, if you could give us, or maybe if you want to give us for FY27, 28, what should it look like?
So typically for 26, as you know, if you really glance through our 9-month figure, we have already touched about 89 crore kind of a PAT, which we have already achieved. We are constantly looking at that there should be a minimum growth of about 25 to 30% from last year. And our aspiration is that 20 to 25% on top line and about 30 to 35% kind of a bottom line, we should be able to constantly achieve it. So for 26, we believe that we will be able to achieve that. We are bang on target with the current run rate itself. We will be able to probably achieve that, and we will probably surpass that number. And next year again, with the same kind of a growth in PAT level, I think we will be able to achieve that.
So ballpark, you think that you should be headed to what, around 200 crores of net profit in the next fiscal?
Next fiscal, which is by March 27, one should expect somewhere around 180 to 190 crore minimum. But I think, as I said, 30% growth is something which we are surely going to maintain and trying to achieve that.
Got it.
Mr. Gupta, thank you so much for joining in. 9,500 to 10,000 crore AUM by end FY26, 1,500 crore MTF book by FY26, broking, non-broking 50-50 by March 2027. AUC should grow between 25 to 30% and 30% net profit growth for the next couple of years. Wish you good luck, and we will keep track of these numbers and keep quizzing you on them as you report your quarterly numbers as well.